Hello everybody! Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be covering the song out of the daily ukulele book, My Old Kentucky Home. And this one I'm going to be playing as a chord melody. This isn't my first chord melody I've made out of the songs in the daily ukulele book. If this is your first chord melody, I'd recommend doing the Happy Birthday song or Good Morning to All. And you can find that link up in the top corner up here. Just as I did for Happy Birthday, you can find this chord melody on my Patreon site. I'll put that in the link below. And I'll go on ahead and tell you that I wrote all of the notes out for this, and I also put all the tab out there for you as well. Now I decided to make this a chord melody because I saw the song Hard Times Come Again No More by Stephen Foster, and I love that song, and I've heard a lot of people cover it, such as Madeline Peyroux. I think she does a beautiful job on that. And I thought, why not make this a chord melody? I had a student ask to learn a chord melody because she wanted to sound competent on the ukulele and not just do strumming all the time. So I thought, what a perfect song. My Old Kentucky Home. I'm a Kentucky boy. I live in Kentucky. And there's so much that I'm grateful for in this state that I took for granted when I moved away a long time ago. I've since moved back to be closer to family. And even if you don't live in Kentucky, this is still a great melody from a long time ago. Alright, so if you've never done a chord melody before, all that means is that you're going to be strumming, but you're also going to be playing the melody at the same time, all on the ukulele. Okay, and you can do this on linearly tuned ukuleles or reiterant ukuleles. In this version, I used a reiterant version, which is just a standard ukulele. Reiterant just means that it has the high G on it instead. Alright, so the next part of the video, I'm going to walk you through how to play this. Okay, for the next part of this video, I'm going to just break down how to play some of these measures and some general techniques that you can use for chord melodies. Alright, so if you look at the first measure of music, we have a pickup note, and that's just going to be on the high string, on our first string. And then, typically I always do thumb strokes when I do chord melodies, most of the time, because I want to get the melody to sound very warm. I don't want it to sound very harsh. I want it to be nice and mellow. Like the human voice, right, if we're going to sing this. Okay, so our first measure, we have F, the F chord. So that's an F7. And what I'm trying to do when I play chord melody is to let the chord itself sustain as long as possible. So I'll do that second measure again. It goes like this. Now if you listen very carefully, hopefully you'll be able to hear that the E and the A ringing out throughout the measure. And so for that G note there, I'm using a pinky to try to get that to come through. Alright, in the third measure we have a B flat chord. And then you have to lift up because you're trying to get that chord to sustain still, because you want that next note to be a 0 or an A note. So we have a D note there. I have to use my pinky. And then we bring it down to an F chord, but with a C on top. So that pinky slides from 5 down to 3. Alright, let's take it from the beginning and I'll run it through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that takes care of the first line that we have. Alright, so we're going to start in the second line of music here, and to prepare for that, I would make your F chord with a C on top, just to help you for that. Okay, so here's measure 4. Then I have to bar that pointer finger because we want the chord to run into that note. Okay, now here's the next line. Now here's a special technique I use only for this measure. I take my pointer finger because I want the G to ring the most. That's the melody note. Okay, and then that's the only note that I pull off in this entire piece, is going from the F to that E right there, because it sounds like a natural decrescendo. I don't want to brag on myself, but I think that part of the arrangement is one of my favorite, just the way that it goes. Okay, So let's try that again. Here's a fourth measure. And then it kind of starts how the beginning of the piece sounds a little bit, right? Starting this next part, and then we're going to be going over line 3 next. So, but let's start in this measure of F here, okay? This is measure 9. So that's all the same, like from the beginning, right? So this part is going to be the while the birds make music all the day. While the birds make. All right, and that takes us up to the very end of the first phrase. And then you'd go back to the beginning. And I do know that the melody is slightly different because of the words, but for this arrangement, I decided to keep it the same to keep it simple. Okay. Take liberties as you see fit. All right, so let's go back to measure 9, and then this time I'm going to go through the second ending. Okay, so here's measure 9. This is an F chord. And that takes us up to the next part of the song. Weep no more, my lady, is the original words. This is measure 21. Here we go. Stop here because this requires a little bit of special treatment. I played that note there, which is a D, but we need to slide all the way up to fret 8, and then I'm going to bar at fret 5. Just thought it would be really fun to let this part soar a little bit. So that's what we're going to do for measure 32. You have an F way up there. And I also put a fermata here so that you have a little bit more space for that chord to breathe. Okay, we will sing one song for my old Kentucky home. Okay, and here's the part after that. So you're going to go 5/7 for my. I recommend using your pinky for this note to help you get down to that F chord again. So for my old Kentucky home, far away. And then this is the very end. You're going to make a B flat chord. It's a B flat 6, leading into an F. The same F we had before at fret 5, 5 and 8. Okay. My next video for this I'll make will be the run through of the entire piece. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. You can find this arrangement again on my Patreon. It's just $3 monthly. I only have one tier, and most of my posts are arrangements of tunes that are printables. Most of them are from the daily ukulele books, but I do have some 90s songs that I've been putting out, and my next project in full will be 9 in the 90s, 9 songs from the 90s. And I've already put out about 2 or 3 of those already you can find on there. I also have some interviews or sneak peek releases. So I did an interview with Jim Beloff, who wrote the daily ukulele books. And check it out for yourself. I'm going to throw on a couple of samples so you guys can see what some of these look like. But I think you'll get a lot out of them. And it'll take your daily ukulele books just a little bit further even, by doing chord melodies and some other things. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you're ever coming through Kentucky, let me know, and we should jam sometime. Have a good one, everybody.